So I'm gonna go right in front of that stake, and I should be 24 inches. Let's drive this one right in front. I'm actually really liking that bigger one better. These little ones are more flimsy. All right, so now we got to go over 24 inches again, because this will be our row. And I said normally my rows will be 30 inches, and like I said, that has more to do with implements and how most of the cloth is, but this is going to be covered with plastic, and I think it's sold like 24-inch rolls. So we'll just go right behind this stake. We'll be at 24 inches. Hold it in the ground. Okay, let's go 24. It's about here. And we need to go 18, which is here. And as I said, this is just for the next one. I will end up running that string more to 9 inches, so I'll know how to throw the half, or I can throw it here and just throw half. But like I said, that's pretty much that part of it. These outside stakes, they don't have any more use at this point. Pick them up, throw them on that plastic. I don't need the hammer anymore. Don't need the tape anymore. I'm gonna put these over here. What I need now is the string. And like I said, I'm only gonna do one of them on camera for y'all. And then like I said, the other ones I'll do off camera. Pretty simple. I just tie a regular knot so it don't unravel. Come back, loop it around, tie another, just pull it back through. I don't remember exactly what this knot's called, but works very good. Put it back through again. Just lay it on the stick, put it on the other side. It cinches down on itself. Now if I actually turn this way and get it cinched and pull this way, that holds that tight. It's pretty simple and easy to undo it, I guess. Little spool, I don't know how well y'all can see it, but I'll try to walk sideways. And we'll get it down here. We'll pull it pretty tight. I'll pull out a little extra string. We'll pull it pretty tight. And then we'll wrap it around. We'll wrap it around. And we're gonna get it to do it the right way. Will actually cause it to pull back on itself. Now, that's all I really got to do for that one. It's pretty loose, but it's good enough. And normally I don't like cutting my string, so the easiest thing to do at this point, you know, it's a little bit in the way when you're doing the other stuff. This is a root. It's still in the ground a little ways. Maybe why this ground ain't tilled up so good. We'll get that out the ground in a little bit. I got another tool for that. Just wrap it around a couple times, and we'll go right back down where we came from. I don't know, like I said, I'll try to walk a little sideways and maybe pull this thing up a little bit further forward. Now basically, like I said, this is pretty much the layout. And I'll do these two. And I'll show you the gist of it. I said this is all going to get leveled out. I'll kind of show you that a little bit with the rake. I won't be using this rake. Grab this stop out the way. Actually, I'll be using the garden rake, which is actually on the other side of the road, because I had to use it on a burn pile the other day that I burned over there. Wasn't quite as big as the one that was back there, but it was pretty good size. But basically, I'll either use the drag or that other garden rake, something, just to rake this back out. As I said, this is not really that important to me at the moment. Just try to get it a little bit leveled out. The main thing, like I said, I'm gonna be working on is between this. But this will get dragged back down, like I said, and leveled back out. Probably do it with the drag, just a lot faster and easier. And if I do, like I said, I'll use the GoPro and show you that too. Okay, we can call that good enough. Y'all got to see the rake in action enough, I think. This is just some grass I definitely want out of here. Ryegrass. It always wants to come back. It's pretty invasive to the garden. So even though I'm gonna put some black mat over it, try to get as much out as I can. All right, so now we're just going to use the shovel. And I'll show you the simple process of it anyway. Basically, get the string out of the way. As I said, that's going to be a 9-inch middle from here. So I'm just going to kind of pull this back. And that's about where it'll be. But the rest of this dirt, just pull it up between the two strings and it goes on that side. I'm making a trench here and adding the dirt, make the row higher and I make a middle. And as I said, this is a semi-permanent, like a raised bed type setup that you would do if you built your raised bed. The only difference is with the implements that I'm going to try to get in the future, you would later, say after we grow these strawberries, which is going to be more of a permanent bed. In that fact, this one probably won't get done much except for when I move the garden, because eventually the garden is going to go beyond these trees all the way up to those trees once I get them cut out of the way. But like I said, for right now, I'm stopping it here. So this strawberries will get moved further closer to the road eventually. But for this year at least, they're going to stay here. And eventually, like I said, where the strawberries are, plastic will get removed, the strawberries will get removed a little bit, and they'll get refertilized. But for the most part, if it's where I'm growing beans or anything like that, what'll happen is once the crop is done, I'll come back and, you know, clean all the old plants out that were there that made the crop, and then basically you just take and put your fertilizer that you want for the next crops that's going to go there. Be a little bit of rotation. I normally use plants that need a lot of nitrogen to start with. Second round you put plants that don't need as much nitrogen. But minus all of those details, basically you just put your amendments in the soil, and then you take your tiller and you go back over it really light, about 1 inch deep, and basically all you're doing is mixing those amendments into your soil. You go 2 inches, whatever you think you might need to go, and then you replant. And so basically I won't be doing the shoveling again. This is pretty much a one-time deal. Like I said, the second thing, the secondary part, rebuilding the rows, like I said, will be basically done with the tiller, and it'll just be done on the top surface. Add some compost in, add a little bit of amendments, and then like I said, you just kind of take the tiller, run over it really lightly, level it back out, and you're ready to go for the next crop. All right, guys, I don't want to bore y'all with all this shoveling. Y'all might enjoy watching me do all this manual labor. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it quit. What I'm gonna do is when I get through with this string on this side, I'll remove it, because like I said, I'll have my middle to let me know that's the bottom part that I need to flatten out. I'll have my middle here. I'll take this string and tie it to that pole over there, and then I'll move another pole where that pin is and tie another string. And I know half the soil, about a shovel's width, will go on this row. The other one I'm not even going to do at that point in time, but I'll put the pin back in it. But when I make the next rows, that dirt would go on that row. That's just so you can have enough room to walk between them without stepping on top of everything. This one, you don't need as much room because, like I said, this will be covered with plastic. It's more just for this to have some drainage and make the road a little bit higher with the extra dirt. But this will be flat, so I can actually stand here and in the middle and work this row. I won't have to. But if I done a little narrow road like that, and this was a row and that was a row, I'd be having to walk like this, and with my balance issues, that's just a disaster. So what I'll end up having is a row, a middle they call it, from about this string to about where my foot is. So I'll be able to walk, down the middle pretty easily. In fact, this one needs to be cleaned up just a little bit, but that's okay. You can always come back and clean it up. So as I said, I appreciate y'all watching them. Hope y'all are enjoying them, and I'll keep trying to make them, like I said, as I get to stuff. And now that I got the GoPro, I'll try to show you a little bit more of some of the stuff in action. Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep them short for the most part, guys. And